Good evening, students. Are you all able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, let's get started. So, last class we saw, what was the last topic that we saw?
Till the limitations of dimensional quantities, and we did some sums.
Yeah, so that's there, no? See, with that, the mathematical part is over. There is only one concept which I'm going to give you as self-study, which you can read and let me know. One, that is parallax method of finding large distances. You can take that topic alone as a self-study concept and let me know if there is any doubt. Okay. So with that, the concept of units and measurements comes to an end. That is units. Some books, as I told you, they refer to it as units and dimensions. The most important part in it is how are you going to find the units and how are you learning the dimensions for different chapters. So the chapters learning doesn't stop with that chapter. You are going to apply it for the subsequent chapter that we are going to see also. Okay. So in today's class, I wanted to discuss the next important topic. So what are all the chapters that we have completed? We have completed units and measurements. Okay. And we have learned something called as vector algebra. Right. So this vector algebra actually comes under the chapter 4. It's a very small part. It's not emphasized much, but this is very important, which I've discussed in detail already. So these are the two chapters we have completed. The next chapter that we need to discuss is motion in a straight line or one-dimensional motion. So motion in a straight line is your ninth standard name, or we call it as motion in one dimension. So that's the topic with which we are supposed to start. But the topics that you need to know before starting with this particular chapter is the concept of slope and the concept of differentiation and integration. Have you heard these terms?
Yes, sir.
You have heard, right? So the slope, differentiation, and integration also plays an important role, like how I told vector algebra plays in all the chapters that we are going to learn. Okay, so please be careful, and if there is any doubt, ask immediately. Okay. So write down the heading as slope. Right. So you people told me I've heard this, right? So what exactly does slope mean?
Sir, it is the measurement from a particular part of a graph.
Measurement of a particular part from a graph. Okay.
A tangent of a line made by the x-axis in anti-clockwise direction.
Okay, that is also right. So that is more technical. Tangent
Representation of an equation.
representation of an equation. What equation are we trying to talk about here?
Algebraic equation.
Okay, when you talk about algebraic equation, there are many possibilities, right? You can write linear equation in one variable, linear equation in two variables,
Linear algebraic equation.
linear algebraic equation, and how many variables? One, two, three, how many?
In two variables.
Okay, you're trying to say, so you mean to say slope has something to do with writing the equation, algebraic equation of something in the linear form using two variables. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else? So somebody told me that slope has something to do with graphs. What is that you told? Can you repeat it again, please?
Sir, it is used to gain an information or the answer from the given data or graph.
Okay, from the given data of a graph sheet. Like, can you give me an example of where, see, since you're talking about graph, have you ever applied it before?
So can you repeat?
No, since you're talking about graph, have you ever applied it in the past?
Yes, sir. For finding the acceleration, some for some stuff.
Okay, finding the acceleration from where?
Sir, like they would have given a constant value of the graph, sir. So we have to find the distance or acceleration from this second to the second. So
Okay, okay, okay. I'm able to understand what you're trying to say. Okay. Okay. So someone else told me tangent of the angle made by the line in anti-clockwise direction. So that is more technical, right? So let's try to understand what exactly slope means. Okay. So first of all, we need to understand that slope is basically defined only for a line. Right. If suppose I have a surface like this. Let me talk in terms of physics itself. Suppose I have a surface like this on which I'm trying to place a block. Right? So this block has mass m, which is at rest. Will this block start moving on its own?
No, sir.
Obviously, no, right? Suppose I make the surface slightly inclined like this. Okay, I'm making it inclined. Now I place a block of mass m, and let's assume that the surface is smooth enough. Do you think this block is going to move?
yes, sir.
Yes,
It is
sir.
going, it is going to move because of its own weight, right? So can I say that this is a level surface and this is an elevated surface, right? So when I say elevated, it is a relative quantity. So what do you mean by relative? It is a comparative study. I need to make sure which side I'm trying to take as the bottom. With respect to that bottom side only, I can say the other side is elevated. So if I take the left hand side, I can say that the right side is elevated. But if I take the right side as the reference, then the left side is
Slope.
it's called depressed. Angle of elevation, angle of depression. Heights and distances. You would have learned, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So that's the application, right? So when I take the left hand side elevated, then the right hand side can be told as it is depressed with respect to the left hand side. So if I place a block here, this block is still going to move in the downward direction. So I can say the right hand side is depressed with respect to the left hand side. Accepted? So this is speaking in terms of mathematical value, that is elevated surface and a depressed surface, right? If I have to be more technical, I can say that both these lines are nothing but slopes, right? Can I say that? So can I say that in both the scenario, the block is moving on a slope? Accepted? Right. So what is the difference? If I say that there is a slope existing for this level surface also, then what is going to be the mathematical value of slope that I can speak for this? If I have to give a number to it, what can I say? Slope is nothing but
Angle.
no. Slope. If I ask you what is the slope of this level surface, what will you say? Is it a slope in the first place?
No, sir.
No,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Level surface is a slope?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, right? Then slope is how much? Obviously, it is going to be 0.
Zero.
So when you talk about the slope of a level surface, it is going to be 0. So the idea of slope comes from the concept of elevation or depression with respect to a reference surface, right? So if I take the bottom here, Initially, if I have my mobile phone like this kept on top of my hand, where my hand is also steady enough, I can say that the level of the surface is 0. Whereas when I start elevating it like this, can I say that the slope is still going to be 0? No. Obviously, no, because one of the sides is at a greater height compared to the other side. Right. So if you are able to find the relative displacement between the heights and the horizontals, then that relative displacement is what is called as slope. So how to define it? It's very simple. See, so the surface which was like this, now what I did to this is observe. I'm just trying to give you a visual perspective. Observe. Okay. So this is a horizontal line which has 0 slope. So on top of this, let's say there is another horizontal line. Now look at the other horizontal line, keeping the one fixed. And if I start moving, see initially what happened, you're able to see this blue color dot, right? You're able to see the blue color dots. The right side blue color dot is there, no? One minute. Not sure why it is not. So right side dot is there, no? You saw blue color dot there. So that right side dot was coinciding with the line exactly, with the other line exactly. Now, if I take this right side dot and if I turn it like this, are you able to see the turn that is taking place? So what has happened is, with respect to the initial point with which it was coinciding, it is making some height h, and it is making a horizontal distance x. Am I right? Right. As a result of which, what has happened? There is an angle that has got generated here, which I call it as theta. Right. So if I think I'm able to see a right angle triangle, so we will start involving the right angle triangles into consideration. So what are all the trigonometric ratios that you know? Obviously, there are 6: sine, cos, tan, and the reciprocals of them. Right. So if I think of a trigonometric ratio which gives me the relative distance, or which gives me the relation between the height and the horizontal distance, that is, if I write this as h by x, then what can I technically call this as?
Tan theta.
You're able to
Tan
understand?
theta.
That is the reason why the slope is actually taking the definition of tan theta. It is because of the relative distances of separation between the verticals and the horizontals. So tan theta is the important function that gives the relation between verticals and the horizontal. That is why if you revisit your 10th standard textbook and go through the concept of heights and distances, most of the problems you would have solved using tan theta only. Very rare you use sin theta or cos theta. Very rare. You're able to understand. So indirectly what I'm trying to say is slope is nothing but an extended application of what you have learned under heights and distances only. So is the logic clear, guys? Is the logic clear? Right?
Yes.
Right? So since you were saying something related to graphs, I think Sai Shri Raga was telling about graphs, right? Let me take this concept and apply it to the graphical representations. So when you're solving problems in physics and math, okay, there will be certain scenarios where graph will help you to have a better understanding rather than a statement. See, there are different ways of solving problems, right? One is you directly convert the statement into a mathematical equation. Some people are comfortable with drawing a graph and analyzing how the variations are taking place. Right? Anything can be taken into consideration. If suppose you want to solve with a different perspective and you have a straight line with respect to a two-dimensional graph, and that straight line is making an angle theta with the x-axis in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, then with respect to the straight line, tan theta is what is called as slope. So this is the point from where the definition comes into picture. Means if there is a straight line which is making an angle theta with whom? With the x-axis. So many people have a confusion. Is it supposed to be only with positive x-axis? No. If I take a line exactly parallel to this, if I take this angle to be theta, then the slope of this line is also tan theta only. Means this line and this line, if they are parallel to each other, if they are making the same angle with respect to x-axis, they are said to have the same slope. All those technical details you learn in your math and 10th chapter. Okay. But as of now, let's try to understand what slope exactly represents with respect to mathematics. Then we'll go into physics concepts.
Sir,
Okay. Now please tell me.
sir, so does the positive x-axis or does it not make a significant thing?
It doesn't make any significance. That is the reason I stressed on this point. Okay.
Okay.
So this is where the definition comes, guys. Good that you asked that question. So you can, we'll try to give a statement to it. Slope is nothing but tangent of the angle made by whom? Made by a, who's making the angle?
X-axis.
Made by a line. Line is making an angle with x-axis. Tangent of the angle made by a line with the x-axis in anti-clockwise direction. In anti-clockwise direction. So what I'm trying to say is, here in mathematics and physics, anti-clockwise direction in which you measure the angle is considered to be positive. Okay, so tangent means tan. The short form of tangent is tan. It's a trigonometric function. Tan of theta, which the line is making with the x-axis, is what we call it as slope. Clear, guys? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now I'll ask some questions. Suppose you have a quadrant. Okay. If there is a line lying along x direction, if there is a line lying along x-axis, what is the slope of this line?
Sir, 90 degrees.
This line, how much is the angle it is making with respect to x-axis?
0, sir.
0 degrees.
No, it is 0 or 180. So tan 0 degree is nothing but 0. Means any line or x-axis, okay, any line lying along x-axis or the x-axis itself has a slope of 0 value. Okay, this is the slope of x-axis or any line along x-axis. I hope this makes sense. Right? You suppose there is a line which is parallel to x-axis. How much is the slope of it? So only thing is you need to see how much is the angle made by that straight line with the x-axis. That's it.
0, sir.
It is 0, sir. Tan 0 degrees. This is the slope. So slope of any line along x-axis or slope of any line parallel to x-axis. When I say parallel to x-axis, it can be above x-axis or below x-axis. So you guys are clear with this point, right? Now, if there is a line lying along y direction,
Undefined.
that's right. Slope of the line is how much? Tan 90 degrees, which is nothing but it's not. So you cannot define the slope of a line which is perpendicular to perpendicular to x-axis. Similar is the case for a line which is parallel to y-axis also. This line or this line, everything will have the same slope. Okay. Now, the next thing is what if I have a line like this and making an angle theta? Okay. And let me take these 2 points on this line as x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2. Okay. If I take this angle to be theta, 1 minute. If I take this as x1 comma y1. Okay, if I take this angle to be theta, then what is going to be the slope of this line? Slope is obviously tan theta. right? Because I'll be taking this angle into consideration. Now, if I draw, now my work is to find what is the slope of this line in terms of x1, y1 and x2, y2. Anybody who can tell me the answer?
Sir, x2 minus
Sir,
x1 by y2 minus y1.
No, it is reverse.
Sir, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, sir.
That's right. But how did you get? That's right. But how did you guys get it?
Sir, difference in the x-axis and y-axis.
It's simple. Simple. See, what are we saying? Slope is tan theta.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, suppose we take, we consider, suppose the first point as x1 by 1 and the point made by the line with the x-axis as suppose a. So the slope of a x1 y1 and a x2 y2 would be same, right?
Yes. See, generally slope is not defined for a point. Okay, to answer your question actually doesn't, is not right. Means slope is not defined for a point. Slope is defined only for a straight line.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So if I take these points, see, I'll tell you the logic, okay? Tan theta, it's a trigonometric function. So where is trigonometry applicable?
Right angle triangle.
Right angle triangle.
You don't have a right angle triangle here. So what we will do is we'll start constructing it. So for that, what I will do is I will drop a perpendicular from here and I will call this distance as x1 and I will call this distance as y1. If I drop a perpendicular from here, I will call this distance as x2 and I will call this distance as y2. From this point, if I drop a perpendicular here, then A, B and P forms a right angle triangle. So if this is theta, how much is this angle going to be? It is also going to be theta, right? So if I take that triangle ABP, I can say that this distance by this distance is going to give you tan theta, right? So this whole distance is y2 and this distance is y1. So how much will this distance be? How much will BP be?
y2 minus y1.
y2 minus y1. Similarly, how much is the distance AP going to be?
x2 minus x.
x2 minus x1.
x2 minus x1. So y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So what is going to be tan theta formula? It is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, or I can say delta y divided by delta x. So what I'm trying to say is it is a difference in the y coordinates to the difference in the corresponding x coordinates. Now you understood why it came?
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Please start.
Sir, like delta y upon delta x is also equal to y2 upon x2, right?
It will be y2 upon x2 provided the other point is origin. See, when will y2 minus y1 be equal to y1? Oh, sorry, y2. Subrajit, think about it.
Could you repeat, sir?
You are asking delta y by delta x is same as y2 by x2, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's not right. Because delta y, what did I say? y2 minus y1. That is the difference in the y coordinates divided by the difference in the x coordinates. But you want this to become y2 by x2. How is it possible? That is possible only under one scenario. When is it? When will y2 minus y1 become y2?
When y1 and x1 are origin.
y1 and x1 are 0, 0. 0, 0 represents an origin. Means if the line is passing through origin, then y2 by x2 is slope.
Sir, but if theta is same, then y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 should be equal to y2 upon x2, right?
No, it will not
because
be. How will theta be same for that? See, think of this logically. To answer your question, I will draw and show. In my previous diagram, is the line passing through origin? x1, y1. If I take this point as x2, y2, then this is theta. Accepted? If the line is passing through origin, since you are involving y2, x2, I am saying one of the points is origin and the other point is x2, y2. Can I say this is also theta?
No, sir. No, I'm not saying that is theta, sir. In the above diagram, sir, which you drew earlier, the theta below is equal to the theta above, sir. Like
Oh,
both the
you're
thetas
saying
are
that
equal.
thing. Okay, okay. Sorry, I didn't see that. Okay, okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
in this
So
case, yes, it is. In this case, yes, it is y2 by x2 also. That's right. Oh, no. Wait. It's my mistake. Sorry. No, that's sorry. Good that you brought. So this distance is x1. I'm sorry. Distance from the origin to the point is x1. This is x2. Then this will become x2 minus x1. Now you guys think.
yes, sir. Now I got it.
Okay, now you got it. Yeah. Good that you brought that question. Sorry, I missed it completely. Guys, make that correction, no? Please. Is it clear for everyone? Now you guys understood why it is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So this is in terms of mathematics, right? We need to apply the same thing into physics. Let's see how to apply it. Shall I proceed? Suppose they give us a graph like this. Displacement, time graph. Okay. And let's say at t is equal to 0, the particle was at origin. And it started moving in a straight line in such a way that the time and distance were proportional to each other. Okay, this is a rough graph that they have given us. This is one of the scenarios where the object, whatever might be the object is moving in such a way that displacement and time are in constant proportion with each other. Okay. Now, with respect to this graph, if I ask you the slope, what will you tell? So for me to find the slope or apply the formula, what do we need?
The angle, sir.
Not necessary that you need the angle every time. Sometimes, most of the time, they'll not give you angle.
Or the points.
You need 2 points, right? That's what the definition. So the tan theta is only the technical definition. Going forward, you will only be given the coordinates, and your work is to find the difference in the y coordinates and difference in the x coordinates, divide them. That's it. Okay, so what is required for us? You need a point S1 comma T1. Oh, sorry, T1 comma S1. Let's say there are 2 points T1 comma S1, and there is another point T2 comma S2. Accepted? Suppose 2 points are given like this, then what is the slope according to the definition? Slope is y2 minus y1. What is y2 minus y1? S2 minus S1 divided by x2 minus x1. What is x2 minus x1? That is
T2 minus T1.
T2 minus T1. So can I write this as difference in the displacement divided by the difference in the time? So what is the rate of change of displacement called as?
Velocity.
This is what you will get. So indirectly, according to physics, velocity is nothing but the rate of change of displacement. But according to this graph and mathematics, what are we doing? The slope of a displacement and time graph is going to give us what? Velocity. Are you guys able to understand this point? You'll slowly get it, but are you able to understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, could you repeat once more?
Okay, sure, I'll do that. See, are you clear with this, Giridhar?
Yes, sir.
So I gave you 2 points. Now I'm asking you to say it's a straight line. You're able to see that it's a straight line. And I already told you, I hope everybody made a note that slope is applicable only for a straight line. Right? So
Yes, sir.
when that is the case, if I ask you the slope of any line, what are the minimum number of points that I require to calculate the slope of it?
At least 2.
At least 2. I can have more than 2 also. With 1 point, I can definitely not do it. So what is the slope of this line? It is y2 minus y1. Here y2 is replaced with s2. y2 is
Yes.
mathematical term, s2 is physics term. So y2 minus y1 is nothing but in terms of physics, s2 minus s1 divided by x is replaced with whom here? Time.
T.
So x2
Time.
minus s1. So t2 minus t1. So s2 minus s1, I will call it as the difference in the s coordinates. So delta generally represents difference. Okay, delta
Yes,
s
okay.
divided by delta t. But what is delta s by delta t according to physics?
It's velocity.
Velocity. But delta s by delta t according to math is slope.
Slope. Okay.
Okay. So slope is a mathematical term, velocity is a physics term. So how are we relating mathematics to physics is the question. So slope, so going forward, if anybody asks you, what does the slope of a displacement time graph tell you? It speaks about,
The relation
Velocity.
between physics and maths.
no, you have to say velocity, that's it. Slope of a
Oh, okay.
displacement time graph is velocity, that's it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so how can you apply it on a more matured level? Let's see this. You would have done all these problems in your 9th standard, but you would have not known the exact reason for it. Let's say there are 2 objects moving like this. Okay. So since now you know that displacement time graph represents velocity, concentrate guys. This is displacement, this is time. Okay, there are 2 particles moving, which I call it as A and B. Let me turn it slightly. Okay, there are 2 particles moving, A and B. Now I'm asking, which particle has greater velocity?
A, sir.
A, sir.
How did you say that?
It has greater. It has the
No,
higher
you're correct
point,
only.
sir.
Sir,
No.
A has covered more distance in less time, whereas B has covered less distance in more time.
You guys are still in the same thing, that same more distance, less time, and all those things.
Sir, is it because it is directly proportional to time?
Okay. I'll make it simple for you guys. I understood how you're thinking. Okay, I'll make it more direct for you guys. Now tell me.
Because
Sir,
slope
A,
is
sir.
more. Slope is bigger.
I'm teaching you slope, right? So my answer obviously will be expected in terms of slope. So just now I told you one important point. What is that? Wherever you have displacement and time, the slope of a displacement time graph is. So I'm going to so you're going to think in this sequence. Slope of displacement time graph is velocity. So accepted. First point accepted. Second point. Slope is what? Tan theta. Right, according to mathematics, it is tan
Yes,
theta
sir.
also. Because in this question, they have not given us the points. So what I will do is, I will take this as theta 1, this as theta 2. So what can I say? Which angle is more? Since theta 1 is greater than theta 2, what can I conclude from this, guys? Tan theta 1 is greater than tan theta 2. So tan theta 1 is nothing but slope of graph A. Tan theta 2 is slope of graph B. So speed of the first particle, that is particle A, is greater than the speed of particle B. Accepted? So you're able to understand how slope is going to help you to solve problems in kinematics. That is motion in a straight line. Are you able to understand this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good. Okay, now let's go to the next part. So I just want to take you through slope first. Firstly, you get a clarity on this, then I will teach differentiation. Suppose I give you velocity time graph, okay, and the velocity time graph is like this, where I will call this point as 0, u. This point will be t, u plus a. This point will be 2t t comma u plus at. Sorry, I will call this as 1 comma u plus a. This will be 2 comma u plus 2a. And let this point be t comma u plus at. Now what I want you to do is, I want you to find the slope of this line and tell me. So now you can ask me a question, sir. You have given more than 2 points. 4 points are there. Which 2 points am I supposed to take into consideration? You take any 2 points and change. See.
Sir, u plus at minus u upon t.
So you will have u plus at minus u upon t. So u and u will get cancelled. At upon t is going to give you
A.
So what is
Acceleration.
you conclude? So for slope, you applied the formula of y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, and the answer in terms of physics came out as a, which is nothing but acceleration. So from this, what can you conclude, guys? The slope of a velocity
Time graph is acceleration.
Okay. Slope of velocity time graph is acceleration. I want you to have this point in mind. That's a very important point. Clear? I hope everybody made a note of it. Let's say this is A, this is B, velocity, time graph. Which object is accelerating at a greater rate?
A, sir.
A, sir.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, because it has more angle. So A is accelerating at a greater speed. So this is how you apply the concept of slope in physics. Am I clear with this?
Sir?
Tell me.
Sir, what if the angle made by the slope is greater than 90 degrees?
Then you need
It will go negative, sir.
It will go negative. But negative, you need to know, you have to learn your third chapter in math. Until then, I can't tell you what is going to happen. When the angle
Sir,
goes,
but is the slope going to be greater than that of the slope which is lesser than 90 degrees?
It will be greater, but it can be greater or lesser, but it will definitely have a negative sign. See, for example, here, since the slope
Then
is
it will be
acute,
decelerating also.
it is decelerating. That's right. So here, the object is accelerating. Right? That is the point I was about to say. Suppose, to answer your question, suppose there is a scenario like this. They have given a velocity time graph to us, and they are saying that one velocity is like this and the other velocity is like this. This is A, this is B. One thing, by observing the graph, you can say that the velocity is decreasing with respect to time. Right? So the object has to decelerate. So if I take this as θ1 and this as θ2, if you ask me which is having a greater value of deceleration, what is going to be the answer?
A.
A.
Because it is having a greater value of angle.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Sir, but then acceleration can be negative, sir. But then if it is same for displacement time graph, how can displacement be?
Displacement can be negative. Then velocity will be negative. Because displacement and velocity are vector quantities, no, so they can be negative. But if the same question is about distance time, then it is wrong. See, anyways, I wanted to take it slowly, or else you'll get confused. Okay. First, let's go step by step. But good you asked that question. Okay. So am I clear till this point? See, I'm trying to go as slow as possible because these are all very tricky concepts. And since you are hearing for the first time and with a different perspective, I want you to understand. Is everyone clear with this? Am I clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's good. So, I will try to explain differentiation. Concentrate, okay? No. So right now the next heading as differentiation. So I would have told you one point with respect to slope. Slope is applicable only for a
line.
straight line, right? Now the question is, not every graph that they're going to give you with respect to displacement time. Is straight line the only graph existing in this world? Obviously, no, right? So you can have a parabolic shape graph. You can have a, see, generally straight line from your 10th standard knowledge, I think I can use this confidently. That straight line is nothing but a linear equation in two variables. Accepted? Right? This is from your
Yes,
10th standard math knowledge. I'm doing nothing. Similarly, in your same 10th standard, you would have learnt about polynomials, where you have quadratic equations, right? Quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c, means it's a second degree equation in one variable. So y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. It represents a parabola, right? Similarly, you can think of y is equal to x cube, y is equal to x power 4. The graph can be anything. How it is going to get applied in physics, that's a different story. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, every time you need not have a velocity time graph to be a straight line. It is not necessary. The velocity time graph can even be a curve. So when it is curved, how are you going to find the same slope when slope is applicable only for a straight line? Then we need some other tool which is going to tell you how to find the slope of a curve as well. And that tool is what is called as differentiation. Okay, why I'm stressing on this point is many of them have a misconception that differentiation is done to reduce the values. No, I don't know. Most of the places it is taught like that. The differentiation is used to reduce values. Absolutely wrong. Why is, if someone asks you why is differentiation used? Differentiation is used as a tool. When I say tool, it's a mathematical tool. Tool to find the slope of any curve at a given point. Or I have to be more particular. It is a tool which is used to find the slope of tangent to any curve at a particular point. Tangent of tangent to any curve at a given point. So here the meaning of tangent is different. So I use tangent twice. So what is the definition of slope? I told you it is the tangent of the angle made by the line with the x-axis in anti-clockwise direction. That tangent represents the trigonometric tangent, that is tan. Whereas here, what do you mean by a tangent to a curve?
Sir, a straight line which touches the curve of
a straight line which touches the curve only at one point. So that is what is meant by a slope of a tangent. So let's try to understand what it exactly means. Okay. Let's say I have a curve like this. Okay. So I cannot go in depth because I'm not sure if everybody has heard about the word relations and functions. Have they started in your school?
Yes, sir.
Relations and functions have started? Okay, so assuming that most of you have heard, this is nothing but a function. This is a polynomial function which is going to take this particular shape. Let's assume. Let's not worry much about it. Okay. On this polynomial function, I'm going to take 2 points and I will draw a line like this which is cutting the 2 points. I'll call this point as a comma b. Generally, I'll give you only one thing, that any function is written as y is equal to f of x. If I have to give you a similarity of what you have learned in your lower grade, if suppose there is a function like this, p of x is equal to x square plus x plus 1. If I ask you what is p of 1, what will you say? P stands for polynomial, right? So in this polynomial function, if I ask you what is p of 1, what will you do? You will take this 1 and substitute it in the place of x. So that what are you going to get? 1 square plus 1 plus 1. So answer will be 3. So what is the meaning of it? When the value of x is 1, the value of that polynomial is 3. You're able to understand? In a similar way, instead of p of x, if I have something called as f of x, okay? Suppose I have something like this. F of x is equal to x power 4 plus x cube plus 1. And if I ask you what is f of 2, what are you going to say? 2 power 4 plus 2 cube plus 1. 2 power 4 is 16 plus 8 plus 1. How much is it, guys? It's 25. So if I have to look at this as a function, if I have a graph like this, then what this exactly means is at x is equal to 2, the value of y is 25. So if suppose this point is 2, 0, if I join here, then any point on this curve is 2, 25. Are you guys able to understand what I am trying to say? Is it clear or not? Please give me a confirmation.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, good. Similarly, if I ask you what is f of 1, what will you say? 1 power 4 plus 1 cube plus 1, this is 3. So if I take the point 1, what is going to be the point here? 1, 3. Don't look at the height, okay? I drew a rough graph. It's only for your understanding. So 1, 3 is a point on the curve. 2, 25 is a point on the curve. How did I get that 1, 3? X is 1, y is 3. Right? In a similar context, if I have this function as f of x, okay, then if I take a point x comma 0 here, what is going to be the point A, guys? Use the knowledge of coordinate geometry and tell me.
X comma f of x.
Very good. It is going to be x comma f of x. Okay. From this point, let me say at a distance h, there is another point D. So x basically represents the distance from the origin to that particular point. So if I take this as h, then what will be the coordinate of this point?
X plus h comma 0.
Right? X plus h comma 0. Then what is going to be the value of D? It is going to be x plus h comma f of x plus h. Accepted? Right.
Yes,
now
sir.
I have an important question. Though the curve, though f of x is not a straight line, but there are 2 points on those curves, when I join them is forming a straight line. Right? So if I ask you what is slope of AB, then what will you say? What is slope
So
of
f
AB?
of x plus h minus f of x upon x plus h minus x.
Yes. So those who have not understood how he told this, f of x plus h is y2, f of x is y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So f of x plus h minus f of x, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1.
Sir, but I have a doubt, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, this is the slope of AB straight line, sir, but we need to find the slope of the curve, right?
Yeah, I have not yet come to that point. I'm slowly coming. I'm going step by step. Right? So slope of AB, right? But here AB is a straight line which represents a special line called as a secant. I hope you guys would have heard the word called as secant. There are 3 important lines with respect to a curve, okay? So 2 lines and 1 line segment. So if I take any curve, for example, you would have learned circles, no? If I take a circle, to the circle, if I draw a line which is cutting the circle at 2 points, then that line is called as a secant. Do you guys know this or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, if you take any 2 points internally and join them, you get a line segment.
Chord.
It's called as a, right? Similarly, if you draw a line which touches the curve only at 1 point, then it is called
tangent.
Right? But what did we say? Let's revisit. What did I say differentiation is? Differentiation is slope of the tangent to that curve at a particular point, right? But what do we have in our hand now? We don't have a tangent, we have a secant. But the important question is there a possibility for me to make the secant a tangent? Is there a possibility for me to make the secant as a tangent? Yes, we can do that
Parallel, we can do parallel.
by doing what? By reducing the value of h. See, I'll show you. I want you all to visualize it. Pay attention, okay? Suppose I have this curve, right? Sorry. Okay, you're able to see 2 points clearly, right? Where horizontally these 2 points are separated by distance h. Correct? Now, what will happen if I try to bring it like this? When I try to bring it like this, I'm keeping this point fixed. Okay, try to understand. I'm trying to keep the first point fixed, whereas I'm trying to move the second point along the curve. So this point B, from here, it has moved to this point. Let me call it as B dash. As a result of which, the distance with respect to the initial point, what has happened? This h has got shrinked. Now, what can I do to this one? You're able to visualize it, guys. So what has happened now? B dash has moved even more closer to the point A. Point A is fixed. I'll call it as B double dash, so that if I drop a perpendicular, what is happening to the distance between the points? Means x is fixed, but h I am keeping on changing. If I keep on changing it like this, there will be one particular instance where I'll achieve something like this. Guys, are you able to see something that has happened?
Yes, sir.
What has happened?
Secant has become tangent.
Yes, the secant has turned into a tangent. But here one important point to be observed. Is it going to be a perfect tangent to the curve? No. So I'm trying to say A is fixed. No. The distance between A and B will be so small that if you have a microscope and look at it, you will be able to see a small curve, unless or else you will not be able to see it as a secant, rather it is going to be an approximate tangent. You're able to understand. The reason why I'm telling this point is because differentiation and integration are called as calculus, and calculus gives you only approximate value. It doesn't give you exact value. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to revisit. Slope of secant is what? Tell me again. Slope of secant is f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Correct? Now this slope, it will become equal to slope of tangent under what scenario? For slope of tangent to happen, what should be the approximate value of h?
0.
The approximate value of h should be 0, but it will not be 0. It will be 0.0000, let's say 10 zeros and then a 1. It will be that small, which we can't even imagine. It is going to be that small. Okay. So I'm going to write something.
It's negligible.
It is a negligible value. That's what I'm trying to say. It is going to be a very, very, very small value. I'm going to write something technically. Don't worry much about it. Okay. This LIM stands for limit. Which values limit are you controlling? You are controlling the limit of h. So limit h, you put a hyphen and write it as 0. I'm going to tell you how you read it. You read it as limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h is the slope of the tangent, and the slope of the tangent is what we call it as dy divided by dx. It's very simple to understand. When you saw in the previous case, when I wrote slope, I wrote it as delta y by delta x. No, here the delta is replaced with d, and this is what is called as, this is what you read it as, derivative of y with respect to x. Derivative of y with respect to x. Actually, the mathematical definition of it is limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Is it clear? How to apply and all those things is my headache of how to teach. Okay, don't worry, don't break your head too much for it. As of now, concentrate only on the content. In tomorrow's class, trust me, I'm going to give you some more problems which is going to make things easy for you. But give me a confirmation. Are you guys able to understand the concept clearly? Did you understand what exactly differentiation means? You're able to visualize
Yes,
it?
Yes.
That is more important for me. Okay. So I suggest you all to go through these concepts and come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll give you a formula and tell you how to apply it in physics. Okay.
Sir,
Tell me.
sir, why are we writing it as dy by dx?
That is how it is mathematically represented. You call it as derivative of y with respect to x. That is the notation. That's it.
Sir, but how is h equals to x, sir?
You'll not understand it now. That is why I told you I'm going to write something technical. You'll not understand it because this comes in the 11th chapter of mathematics. If you see, to be very honest, if you need to have a grip over calculus, your function should be the strongest factor. That is the reason I asked if they have taught functions in your school. So again, I'm repeating, you need not know all the story. I'm not sure if this is the way they're going to teach in your school also. They might directly give you the formula also, but I just wanted you to visualize and don't break your head too much about it, why it has come and all those things. You will understand it. Please give it some time.
Okay, sir.
You need to master functions for that. So first concentrate. If in math they are teaching you functions, I suggest we want to concentrate on that chapter first. Okay. How much is needed physics, that I will take care of. Yeah, tell me that.
Sir, I just wanted to know if y and x are just like variables or just.
They're variables. Y is variable, x is a constant. I will not say x is a constant. I'll come to that. I'll come since you asked this question. I'll explain it tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I'll explain. Okay, any other doubt? That's it, right? All good?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
then if there is no doubt, we can wind up. I'll see you all tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Just revise and come down. That is only
Thank you, sir.
request. Revise and come. Yeah.
Okay.
See you all.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.